I'm just eating my way. I'm just eating my way.
Okay.
Today we'll be making a calzone. There's two ways to roll out the dough. You can either use your hands like I am, or else you can use a rolling pin. If you're confident in your skills, or if you used to work at a pizzeria, you can go by hand. But for those that aren't as confident, I'll show you how to roll it out with the rolling pin. Now put it back together in a ball. Okay, now it's a ball. Take some flour, put it on the cutting board. Take some flour, put it on top, and put some on the rolling pin. Kind of flatten it out a little bit, and roll. Do you know where a ruler is? Roll it out from middle to out to the outer edge. Turn middle to outer edge. It may look like it doesn't want to hold its shape and stretch, but work on it a little bit and it will slowly but surely roll out. Okay, you can cut it. For the filling, you'll need chicken, mozzarella cheese, and bacon. You cook the bacon and the chicken. I use grilled chicken from a George Foreman. I just kind of cut it up or shredded it into pieces. Bacon, I would like crispy. Now on to the sauce. Let this sit and rise. Here's the ingredients: chili powder, ground ginger, red chili flake, some Italian seasoning, 2 types barbecue sauce, maple syrup, soy sauce, and on your stovetop, on medium heat, you'll need a saucepan that has a lid for steam to come out. What you need to put in first is the soy sauce. Maybe a couple of dashes, maybe 1/8 of a cup of soy sauce. You'll need both the barbecue sauce next, or else you can just use one or the other. If you do this right, okay, well, you'll get both of them, and that should equal maybe 1/4 of a cup. Okay. Okay. Once that's in, stir it up a little bit. Get it all a little incorporated. There. Now that needs to come up. Now you just add about a teaspoon of ground ginger, another teaspoon of chili flake, and a teaspoon of chili powder. I like about half a teaspoon to half a tablespoon of the Italian seasoning. Now you just stir that in and let it come to a simmer. You see how it's starting to bubble a little bit? That means it's about ready for the last ingredient, the root beer. You're gonna need not a lot of root beer, because too much it will be too liquidy, too little, and it will just burn and be too thick. There's gonna be some bubbling. That's fine. Add it in about a quarter of a cup. There we go. Stir it in. The bubbling is good. That's just the carbonation leaving the mixture. Okay. Put the lid on and let it steam and simmer for another 10-15 minutes. Now it's time to assemble the calzone filling. I have on the dough, I go with the side away from me, that way I can just fold it over. Put a little bit of the cheese on, just so it kind of holds everything together. Spread it out as much as you can, try to get a thin layer. A little bit of the bacon on, you actually brush it up a little bit more, and then spread it out. Spread it out again. Okay. A little bit of the chicken. Don't worry if it's not cooked all. If there's a little bit of pink in it, that's okay. It's gonna cook out in the oven. Don't put all of it on. Just put a little bit on, because we still have to add the sauce. And I don't really want to have a culinary bomb in my oven at the moment. Okay. That. One more sprinkling of cheese on top of that. Okay. Now the sauce is done. Turn it off. Take it off the heat. You're gonna need to pour it on a little bit. Use a spoon. And just drizzle it on a little bit. If there's extra, that's okay. Just let it cool down to room temperature. Then put it in the fridge. Let it cool down a little bit more, and then just bottle it out. Okay. After that's done, put the rest of the bacon on. For chicken, and more of the mozzarella cheese. Okay. Now you just fold it over. Gotta make sure there's an edge, that way you can crimp it. Trying to get this a little airtight. Okay. There. Now, what's really important on what you do here is you take one egg, lightly beaten with a fork, and you just kind of brush on the egg. This will give it a nice crust, and a nice brown when it comes out of the oven. And heck, it actually just looks cool. There we go. Now you take a pair of scissors and cut a little bit like that. That way the steam can escape. Yep. Try to get it on. Don't worry if it kind of rips open a little bit more. It just looks funnier. Okay. Now into the oven. Might be a little bit more. And cook for 40 minutes, but check it after 30.